Everyone, bonjour à toutes et à tous. Hello from the United States. Thank you, Les Maths En Scène, for the opportunity to present today, and thank you all for being here. Today, I would like to introduce to you an activity, a card game that can be explained with algebra. It's an activity that I love to share with my students, and they always enjoy it. So I hope you enjoy it as well. Just a few things about me. I'm a mathematics teacher in the United States at the Riviera High School. I also create content for a website called The Math Collection. I was born in Romania. This is where I actually learned French, and I learned to love and appreciate the French culture. I will be able to understand your questions in French, but I'm afraid I haven't used it in over 20 years since I moved to the United States. So I will have to present, unfortunately, in English. I love math of all sorts, but I'm mostly passionate about the geometry and how it's represented in art and architecture. So what's going to happen today? I'm going to share with you the card trick. I'm going to do it a couple of times. I'm not going to give you any explanations. I just want you to watch and think about why it's working. I'll share it a third time with some explanations, and this is when I'm going to invite you, if you have a deck of 52 cards available, to join me and follow what I do. And then we'll have time to fully look at why the trick is working, and maybe I will share with you some ideas to how to introduce the activity to your students. Just a few things to keep in mind. I'm going to use a standard deck of cards, and each card needs to have a value. So the ace is worth a point. In the United States, we call this a jack. I think it's a valet in French. It's worth 11. La dame is 12, and le roi 13. So these are going to be important for the game to work. So let me share the view of my document camera. Okay, so what I have here, it's a standard deck of cards, okay, which is, has to be well shuffled. Okay, this is a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm stopping at 13, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is an 11, 12, 13. This is a 13, so I'm stopping here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is a 12, so I cannot use it. This is going to be in a discard pile, non utilisé. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn all the piles face down. Okay, I'm going to mix them a little bit. So I have 3 piles of cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Can somebody put in the chat 3 letters so I can choose 3 piles of cards? B, E, and G. I see it in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to keep B. So A is going, F is going, C is going, and D is going. So these are going to become part of the discard pile. Okay, so I'm going to keep these 3 here. And I'm going to ask somebody else in the chat to let me know which 2 piles I'm going to choose so I can turn the cards face up. So E, B, and G. So just 2 of them I need. I see B, okay, and I need 1 more. Oh, I see G. Okay. Thank you. Somebody said G. I'm going to count the cards in the discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I have a Harry Potter's magic wand. I'm going to do some magic, and I'm going to try to guess what this card is. I'm going to say this is a 7. Let's see. Voila. Magic. Okay, so I would like you to start thinking about why this is working. I'm going to do it one more time. If you have a deck of cards at home, feel free to try. And I promise I'll reveal the secret. Okay, I just want to make sure that the cards are all facing the same direction. Okay, we're all set. So I'm not good at shuffling a deck of cards. It doesn't necessarily need to be really well shuffled, but just in the spirit of fairness. Okay, so one more time. This is a jack, a valet, so that's 11, 12, 13, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we can use this one because I couldn't go all the way up to 13. So that's going to be the discard pile. We're going to do what we just did before. Okay, I'm going to turn them upside down. Okay, we can also mix them a little bit. So it's not a question of, remembering which cards went where. Okay, so we'll do just like before. I'm going to ask you to pick 3 piles, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, would anybody like to put in the chat? Okay, I see A from Julien. I see ACE, A. So I don't need the B, and ACE. Okay, so I'm going to put this one up here. These we're not going to use. Okay, so if you're playing this at home, now you have to count what you have in the discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Anyone like to choose 2 of these letters? A and E. Okay, so I see from Julien, I see A and E. So I'm just gonna, I meant to put those over there. So A and E, we're gonna turn them upside down. We had 31 in here. I'm predicting that this is I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot the magic wand and abracadabra. I think this is a 6. Okay. Any ideas what's happening? Would anyone like to share in the chat? Because we're going to do it the last time. We're going to do it the 3rd time. And we're actually going to look at the math. Okay. So what did I do? This was the card that we didn't know. Yes, this one over here. I counted these, okay, and these were 31. Okay, so that was the discard pile. And then what I did, I subtracted 10. Okay, and we'll explain where the 10 is coming from. And then I subtracted the 7. and the 8. And that's how I got the 6. So no magic, just a little bit of algebra. Okay, approchez les maths. You said you have an idea. Do you mind sharing it? I'm going to switch to my PowerPoint in a second, but in the meantime, if you would like to share a hint, because we obviously have a limited amount of time when I play this activity with my students, I actually don't give them any hints. Like I don't even tell them this. Okay, because I want them to spend the time figuring out. They usually work in groups and they play the game like tens of times until they see the connections. So I'm gonna switch to my PowerPoint slides in a second. I see the questions if I use this activity in middle school. So I teach high school. This is ninth grade, 10th grade. So my students are 15, 16-year-olds. I know teachers who use this for middle school, what you call in French, collège. It depends also on the level of the class. So high school students usually, understand this a little bit faster, but I have students that sometimes struggle with the algebra and figuring out what's working. Teachers that I know that they do this in middle school, they usually give students more than a day. So for a whole day, students will be working in groups and trying to figure out what's happening. If they're stuck, then the teacher will offer them a clue slowly. And they get to think about it and then come back next day to school and they try again. So it depends also on, how much time you have. I wanted to see, and nobody shared in the chat an idea how to solve it. It's actually, once you get it, it's pretty straightforward. So the most important part, and is one of the clue you could give students, is to think about how many cards are in each of those 3 piles. Okay, so especially these 2, A and B, once you turn them face up, how can you find out how many cards are in each pile based on the value of the face card? So this would be the algebra for something like this. Simplifies to 14 minus whatever the face value is on the top card. And, I call the discard pile, I label it with N. And we know that all 4 piles, they have to add up to 52. This is where you want the students to be. I'm sure there are other ways to solve this, but from my experience, students always end up with this equation. Once you simplify, then you notice that this unknown card is always going to be found if you start with the discard pile, which is what I did, discard pile, you subtract the 10, and then you subtract the 2 cards that you already revealed. Let me know if you have any questions about this. This is, pretty much, what the trick is about. I think it's more depends on how you introduce it to your students, and also how much time do you have, and how patient they are to, discover things on their own. I'm going to send it to Uriah later. I do have written notes in French. I apologize ahead of time. I don't know if the translation is perfect, but I could send this to everyone. Glad to see approchez les maths. I see that you tried this at home. Yeah, Mireille, I agree. It's easy when you explain it. When I saw it for the first time, I was at the workshop that a teacher shared it. It took me. I didn't get it right away. It takes some time, and I had to play it because the teacher who shared the activity with me, she wouldn't give the solution she wanted us to figure out. So I had to play it many, many, many times, and then see the one easy way to solve it. So just a few suggestions. I already mentioned this. Ideally, you would have students work in groups because they can learn from each other. Give them a chance to play the game many, many times if possible. Allow them to explore the solution like a second day. But of course, that depends on how much time you have. Offer a hint only if they are stuck. So you might ask them how many cards are in those two piles. Remember the two piles at the end for which we turn one of the top cards facing up. You could also give them a hint that they'll have to write an equation. So that implies that indirectly they have to think about how many cards they have in each pile. And you can also encourage the students to create their own card trick, because in this version, I counted to 13, but you can choose to count to 10 or 11. And that changes the number that you have to subtract. So they can come up with that on their own, and I think they would be very excited about this. It's, you know, there's more excitement in a math class when students learn something that they're interested in, and I think they just want to put more effort if they're curious about an activity. So that was all that I had to share. Thank you so much for your time. I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
Thank you, Corina, for your presentation. Y a-t-il des questions pour Corina?
Oh, I see, Mireille. What did I stop? I didn't stop at the dam. I stopped at the king. I stopped at the king because you have to count all the way to 13, and the king is 13. For example, if the first card that I put it's down, it's a 5, then I start counting after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 13. But then if the first card that I put down is a 13, I already got to 13. So then you can stop there. And at the end, George, I see your question. There are no more cards. In the end, if you don't end up counting to 13 because you don't have enough cards, you're not using that pile. So that pile goes into what we call the discard pile, carte non utilisée. Thank you so much for all your comments in the chat, and thank you for your attention. I will send the written notes to Les Maths En Scène, and maybe they can share those with you as well.
Okay, thank you again, Corina.
Thank you.
Thank you. Merci à tout le monde d'avoir suivi cette conférence. Et nous passons à la suivante. Yes, we move on to the next presentation. Thank you again, Corina.
Thank you.
See you. Have a good day.
Thank you.